In the vast expanse of the Atlantic, lying just beyond the main arc of the Caribbean archipelago, is an island of coral and limestone. It is a solitary outpost, shaped not by the volcanic fire that forged its neighbors, but by the slow, patient accumulation of ancient marine life, pushed upward from the seabed over millennia. This geological distinction has given it a unique character, a landscape of gentle contours, rolling hills, and subterranean caves, rather than sharp, volcanic peaks. This is a land of profound warmth, not just in its climate, but in its culture, a place of quiet resilience, both in its history and in the rhythm of its daily life. This is Barbados. From the sky, it appears as a jewel of green and aquamarine, fringed with beaches of impossibly soft, pink-tinged sand. Its coastlines tell a tale of two oceans, the calm, leeward western shore, where the Caribbean Sea laps gently against pristine bays, creating a tranquil haven of turquoise water. And the rugged, windward eastern coast, where the full, untamed force of the Atlantic has carved dramatic cliffs and powerful, churning surf. To the visitor, this is the image of paradise, a landscape of sun-drenched leisure, an idyllic escape, a postcard brought to life. But to look closer, to venture beyond the resorts and the well-trodden tourist trails, is to discover a nation with a deep and complex soul. It is to find a society that is both remarkably sophisticated and deeply traditional, one that has woven its existence into the very fabric of this sun-blessed, sea-swept environment. This is a story not of a destination, but of a home. A story of connection to the land that sustains, to the history that defines, and most importantly, to the people who call this island home. This is the story of everyday life in Barbados. Life in Barbados is governed by a rhythm that is at once gentle and steady. It is a pace set by the rising and setting of the tropical sun, and by the subtle, ever-present influence of the trade winds that rustle through the sugarcane fields and the palm trees, a natural air conditioning for the entire island. The day begins early, before the full strength of the sun asserts itself. In the towns and villages that dot the island's 11 parishes, the morning unfolds with a quiet, dependable routine. The nocturnal symphony of whistling frogs and crickets gives way to the cooing of Zenaida doves and the cheerful, almost conversational chatter of the island's ubiquitous blackbirds. This is an island of communities, a place where the bonds of neighborhood are strong, tangible, and deeply felt. In a country of just over 280,000 people, living on 166 square miles, there is an atmosphere of pervasive familiarity. Anonymity is a foreign concept. The morning walk to the local village shop for a newspaper and fresh salt bread is a social ritual, a journey punctuated by unhurried greetings and genuine inquiries about one's family. Conversations flow easily over meticulously trimmed garden hedges and at bus stops about the weather, the prospects for the upcoming cricket match, and the everyday affairs of family and friends. Life moves at a human pace, unhurried, neighborly, and deeply rooted in place. Even in the capital, Bridgetown, with its bustling streets, historic colonial architecture, and modern commercial activity, the Bajan spirit of warmth and personal connection is never far from the surface. Away from the polished glamour of the West Coast, in the parishes of St. Philip or St. John, life unfolds with an even quieter, more traditional cadence centered around the church, the school, and the local rum shop, which serves as the unofficial community hall and parliament. Daily life in Barbados is anchored in the bedrock of community. The family unit is the undisputed cornerstone of Bajan society, a powerful and resilient network that often spans multiple generations living in close proximity, sometimes in a collection of houses on the same plot of ancestral land. Homes are sanctuaries of order and pride, often painted in bright, cheerful pastels, pinks, blues, and yellows, their gardens meticulously tended and filled with hibiscus, bougainvillea, and fruit trees bearing mangoes, limes, and the native Bajan cherry. The Sunday lunch is a cherished, almost sacred tradition, a time for the extended family to gather after church, to share a meal, to talk, to laugh, and to reinforce the bonds that tie them together. This inherent closeness fosters a powerful sense of collective responsibility. There is a deeply ingrained, unspoken understanding that the well-being of one is the concern of all. Neighbors look out for one another's children, who often play freely and safely between houses, and the elderly are respected and cared for within the family structure, their wisdom valued and sought. This interdependence is a living, breathing part of the social fabric, a fundamental principle that continues to define Barbadian life. The local rum shop, a ubiquitous feature of every parish, is an institution that goes far beyond its function as a place to drink. It is the community's living room, a place for debate, for celebration, for consolation, and for storytelling. It is where fishermen and farm workers gather after a long day, where business deals are sealed with a handshake over a flask of rum, and where the day's news is analyzed with forensic detail. It is a place where a conversation with a stranger can easily turn into a lasting friendship, a cornerstone of the social glue that holds the community together. Tradition in Barbados is not a relic of the past, preserved under glass. It is a living, breathing force that shapes the present. The Barbadian identity, or Bajan as it is proudly known, is a rich and vibrant tapestry woven from the threads of West African heritage and over 300 years of British influence. This dual legacy is evident everywhere, in the island's parliamentary system of government, its Anglican churches, its legal and educational systems, its architecture, and its customs. The official language is English, spoken with a precision and rhythm that is distinctly Barbadian. But the language of the heart, the tongue of everyday life, is Bajan dialect. It is a melodic, expressive, and witty vernacular, rich with unique proverbs and turns of phrase, a source of immense national pride. To hear it spoken is to hear the rhythm and soul of the island itself. This cultural identity is most vibrantly expressed in its music, its sports, and its festivals. Barbados is a cradle of Caribbean music, a birthplace of calypso and the high-energy rhythms of Sosa. The island's most famous celebration is the Crop Over Festival, a tradition that dates back to the 1780s, when Barbados was one of the world's largest sugar producers. Originally a celebration marking the end of the grueling sugarcane harvest, it has evolved into a spectacular 3-month-long festival of music, arts, and culture. It encompasses everything from folk concerts and art exhibitions to the fiercely competitive Pico de Crop Calypso competition, where singers vie for the coveted Calypso Monarch crown. The festival culminates in Grand Kadooment Day, a magnificent carnival of color and sound, where thousands of Barbadians parade through the streets in elaborate feathered costumes, dancing to the infectious rhythms of soca. It is a powerful, joyous expression of freedom, history, and cultural pride. Alongside music, cricket is the national passion. It is more than a sport, it is a social institution, a source of immense local and regional pride. A match at the historic Kensington Oval is a major social event, a place of intense focus, lively debate, and shared community spirit. The ocean and the land have always been the providers for the Barbadian people. For centuries, the economy was built on the colossal engine of sugar production, a legacy that has profoundly shaped the island's landscape, its society, and its history. While sugar is no longer king, the tall, green stalks of sugarcane still cover much of the island's interior, a living reminder of this defining past. Today, the economy is dominated by tourism. The island's stunning beaches, warm climate, and reputation for safety and sophistication attract visitors from all over the world. This industry is the island's primary employer, providing jobs in hotels, restaurants, and a vast network of services, from taxi drivers and tour operators to landscapers and entertainers. The luxury resorts and villas of the West Coast in areas like Holetown and Speightstown represent the polished, international face of the Barbadian economy. But this is a story of two economies, existing side by side, often intertwined. Away from the tourist hubs, a more traditional and local way of life persists. In coastal towns like Oyston, the fishing industry remains a vital part of the community's identity and livelihood. The daily return of the small, brightly painted fishing boats, known as day boats, is a ritual that has remained unchanged for generations. Their catch, especially the iconic flying fish, a national symbol, supplies the island's markets and kitchens. Small businesses and independent entrepreneurs are the backbone of the local economy. From mechanics and craftspeople to small farmers growing local produce for hotels and households, there is a strong spirit of self-reliance and innovation. This creates a complex economic landscape where the global demands of the tourism industry coexist with a deeply rooted local economy. It is a daily reality for many Barbadians who may work in a 5-star hotel by day and tend to their own small plot of land in the evening, navigating the space between two different worlds. Barbadian food is a direct and honest reflection of its history and its landscape, hearty, flavorful, and deeply connected to the island's African and British roots. The cuisine is built around the simple, high-quality ingredients that the land and, more importantly, the sea provide. The national dish is cuckoo and flying fish. Cuckoo, a creamy polenta-like dish made from cornmeal and finely chopped okra, has its roots in West African food traditions, while the flying fish, typically steamed or fried and served with a rich, spicy gravy, is the bounty of the surrounding ocean. It is more than just a meal. It is a cherished symbol of Bajan identity, a dish that connects generations. Home cooking is the heart of the island's culinary culture. Recipes are passed down through generations, and the kitchen is the center of family life. Saturday is traditionally soup day, when a large pot of hearty soup, thick with ground provisions, like yams and sweet potatoes, yellow split peas, and meat, is simmered for hours, its aroma filling the house. Rice and peas, creamy baked macaroni pie, and baked chicken are staples of the beloved Sunday lunch. Street food is an essential and democratic part of the Bajan experience. All over the island, you will find small stalls selling local delicacies like fish cakes, savory, fried balls of salted cod, flour and spices, and cutters, simple but delicious sandwiches made with Bajan salt bread and filled with everything from cheese to fried fish. These are not just places to eat. They are social hubs where people from all walks of life gather to chat and catch up. While the island boasts world-class fine dining restaurants, the truest and most authentic taste of Barbados is found in the home, at a street-side stall, or in a simple, no-frills local eatery, where the food is prepared with love and served with a warm Bajan welcome. To truly understand Barbados is to understand its relationship with nature. The landscape is not a passive backdrop. It is an active, living presence, a source of sustenance, recreation, and profound national identity. The island is, first and foremost, defined by the sea. But the Bajan relationship with the ocean is different from that of a fleeting visitor. It is a deep, practical, and respectful connection. It is the fishermen reading the tides and the sky. It is the children learning to swim in the calm, clear waters of the West Coast as a rite of passage. It is the community gathering on the beach for a picnic, a game of cricket, or an early morning walk. The island's two coasts offer a study in contrasts. The West Coast, sheltered from the Atlantic, is the Caribbean of the imagination, with its tranquil, turquoise waters and serene beaches like those at Mullins Bay. The South Coast is livelier, a hub of activity and social life, but the East Coast is where the island's wild, untamed heart is revealed. Here, in places like Bathsheba, the Atlantic waves crash against the shore, sculpting giant, mushroom-shaped rock formations from the ancient coral. This is a place of raw, dramatic beauty, a favorite spot for surfers and for Barbadians seeking a powerful, restorative connection with nature. The interior of the island offers a different kind of beauty. It is a gentle landscape of rolling hills, small villages, and historic plantation houses, all connected by a network of narrow, winding country lanes. It is also a land of hidden gullies like Welchman Hall Gully, remnants of the island's original tropical forest, offering a cool, green escape into a more ancient version of Barbados. For all its traditional charm, Barbados is a thoroughly modern and well-connected nation. A network of roads, from multi-lane highways to the narrow, winding tenantry roads of the countryside, connects the 11 parishes. The primary mode of transport for many Barbadians is the bus. The large blue government-owned buses and the smaller yellow privately owned minibuses are a vital and iconic part of island life. A ride on one of the privately run white ZR vans, named for their license plate designation, is a cultural experience in itself. A journey often accompanied by loud soca music, a running commentary from the driver, and an efficient, if sometimes exhilarating, pace. Car ownership is common, and the island's infrastructure is well developed, with modern utilities, telecommunications, and a highly regarded international airport that serves as a major hub for the Eastern Caribbean. This seamless blend of modern convenience and traditional island life is a defining characteristic of Barbados. It is entirely possible to live in a quiet, traditional chattel house, a distinctive style of wooden home designed to be movable, surrounded by sugarcane fields, yet be just a short drive from a bustling town with high-speed internet and all the amenities of the 21st century. This unique balance allows Barbadians to enjoy the peace, tranquility, and strong community of rural life without being cut off from the opportunities and connections of the modern world. For the young people of Barbados, growing up on the island offers a unique blend of a secure, community-oriented upbringing and a connection to the wider world. Education is a high priority in Barbadian society, a legacy that values academic achievement as a key to progress. The island has a strong public school system and a literacy rate of over 99%. The University of the West Indies has a campus at Cave Hill, providing world-class higher education. For many young Bajans, however, the journey into adulthood involves a period of time spent abroad, whether for university or for work experience in the United Kingdom, the United States, or Canada. This experience is a modern rite of passage. It is a chance to gain new skills, to see the world, and to broaden their perspectives. But the pull of home, of family, and of the unique quality of life on the island remains incredibly strong. Many choose to return, bringing with them new ideas, global connections, and a renewed appreciation for their home culture. They are the future of the island, a generation that is navigating the complex task of balancing their Bajan identity with a global outlook, creating new music, art, and businesses that are both distinctly Barbadian and internationally relevant. The great challenge for Barbados is to create enough diverse and rewarding opportunities to keep its talented and highly educated young population at home, ensuring that they can build their futures on the island that raised them. The rhythm of day and night in Barbados is a study in beautiful contrasts, a shift from productive work to communal relaxation and celebration. The daytime is defined by the steady, practical tasks of life. It is the shopkeeper in Speightstown serving customers with a familiar smile. It is the office worker in a modern building in the Warrens commercial district. It is the farmer in his field, tending to his crops under the warm Caribbean sun. The days are for doing, for making a living, for tending to the responsibilities of family and community. As evening descends, a different energy takes hold. Life turns outward, towards socializing and celebration. As the sun sets, the sound of tree frogs begins to fill the air, a gentle, high-pitched chorus that signals the transition from day to night. This is the time for the lime, the Bajan term for hanging out and socializing. It might be a quiet gathering on a friend's porch, a spirited game of dominoes at the local rum shop, or a lively night out in St. Lawrence Gap. The most famous evening gathering is the Oyston's Friday night fish fry, where locals and visitors alike come together to eat freshly grilled fish, listen to music, and soak up the festive, open-air atmosphere. But away from these lively spots, the evenings in the residential parishes are peaceful. It is a time for family, for rest, and for recharging the spirit, ready for the new day. Life in this Caribbean paradise is not without its significant challenges. The cost of living is high, an unavoidable consequence of being a small island nation that must import most of its consumer goods, from fuel and cars to a significant portion of its food. This places a significant pressure on many families and makes budgeting a crucial daily skill. The economy's heavy reliance on tourism, while a source of prosperity, also creates a vulnerability to global events, from economic downturns to health crises, and the seasonal nature of the industry can lead to periods of uncertainty for many workers. The environment, for all its beauty, is fragile. The threat of hurricanes during the Atlantic storm season is a constant reality, requiring preparedness and resilience. The long-term effects of climate change, such as sea level rise, coastal erosion, and the warming of the ocean, which threatens the coral reefs, pose a significant challenge to the island's future. There is also the constant, delicate task of balancing development with preservation. How does a small, densely populated island accommodate the needs of its people and its vital tourism industry without compromising the natural beauty that is its most precious asset? These are the complex, vital questions that the Barbadian people contend with, thoughtfully and with a deep sense of shared responsibility for the future of their island home. So why do people choose to stay? In a world that offers seemingly limitless options, what is the enduring, magnetic pull of this small island in the Atlantic? The answers are not simple, but they are woven into the very fabric of daily life. They stay for the unshakable sense of community, for the feeling of belonging to a place where you are known, where your story is part of a larger, shared narrative that stretches back through generations. It is the comfort of knowing that in times of trouble, a neighbor will be there to help without being asked. They stay for the unparalleled safety, for the simple, priceless freedom to raise children in a place where the bonds of community create a protective, watchful embrace. They stay for the pace of life, for the gentle rhythm that allows for a deeper connection to nature, to family, and to oneself. In a world that often feels loud, fragmented, and chaotic, Barbados offers a rare and precious sense of wholeness and peace. And above all, they stay for the profound, unbreakable connection to home, to a landscape and a culture that is etched into their soul, a fundamental part of their identity. It is a connection that is felt in the warm, salt-laced breeze that is a constant companion, in the rhythm of the waves on the shore, in the taste of a perfectly ripe mango picked from a backyard tree, and in the shared collective memory of a people who have weathered every storm and have built a proud and resilient nation on this small coral rock. Barbados exists in a beautiful and enduring balance between a past that is honored and a future that is embraced, between the wild power of the Atlantic and the gentle calm of the Caribbean, between a cherished local culture and a sophisticated global outlook. It is a place shaped by the sun, the sea, and a quiet, steady strength that resides in its people. Here, life is measured not in grand, dramatic moments, but in the dependable turning of the seasons, in the warmth of a shared meal, in the joy of a familiar rhythm, and in the simple, profound beauty of the everyday. It is a living testament to the idea that the true soul of a place is found not in its grand monuments or its luxurious resorts, but in the quiet, steady, and deeply human rhythm of its daily life.